What's up, guys? Just wanted to make a quick video about the Frankenstrat I made a little while back. Did a lot of work to this guitar. I did not craft the body from hand, nothing crazy like that, but I was able to get my own Frankenstrat together. I know a lot of people out there are trying to make their own replicas, their own custom shop ones, what have you. You might be doing the same project I did, but I definitely had my troubles making this one. So I wanted to shoot this video out onto YouTube, see if anybody had any questions, anything that you want to know. If you're building one, whether it's about the paint to use, I'm going to shoot out a few tips here in just a minute of what I had to use, and any questions you might have, please leave it in the comments. I'm always checking, or feel free to shoot me an email. I'd love to be able to help you guys out. I'm a pretty big musician myself, so I know quite a bit about the guitar's history, and anything I can do to help you guys out, yeah, definitely leave a comment or shoot me a message. Alright, so this guitar, this bass is from a 1980s GTX Applause 20. This is the original neck I had for it. I painted this. I was able to get a rough edge on the stock from the factory GTX 20 logo in black, and I painted the headstock white, taped it off like Eddie did, went over it with red. There's your headstock. It's not that hard for the top, but rest of the guitar can be quite tough considering the crazy pattern it's got. So I'm going to run through a few tips that I can think of off the top of my head with that. Alright, so I'm going to start from the top down. Start with the easiest stuff. So I got another aftermarket neck. This one was a little bit straighter. It was going to work a little bit better with what I was trying to do. I don't have any Kramer logo, anything embezzled on here. I was going to have an artist sketch in something like EVH 20, 10, 15, whatever, 5150, anything like that, Van Halen related. I was going to have that done, but that was not able to get done at the time from money or time issues, what have you. So basically, I was able to pick up some 90s, early 2000s Fender, just standard Strat tuners. Threw those on there, not very hard. Black string retainers to fill in for the black letters that I didn't have. And the paint. This is extremely important. Paint, if you're going to use an enamel, make sure that your primer is enamel, that all the different colors you do from white, black, and red, they're all enamel. Don't go from a lacquer to enamel, enamel to a lacquer. I made that mistake with this one. Luckily, it ended up working out. What happened with me was I started painting the entire body black, which was fine, or vice versa, black and then white. But I painted the whole thing black first, and then taped it off to where I wanted the black stripes to stay. If you paint your entire guitar black, right? You put painter's tape, you cut it however thick you want it, however long you want it. Just put a strip right there to keep that line black. And then, same thing throughout the entire guitar. I would just look at pictures, try to copy the best I could. Just come right here with a black piece of tape. Just cover up the black. Same for this and everything else. Wherever you want the black to stay, put the tape over it. So wherever you have your painter's tape laying, that's where your paint is going to stay. So what I did was I painted it black, and then I painted it white. Both, I don't remember exactly the one I used, but I'll say I used an enamel, right? So I used two enamels. I painted black enamel, white enamel. Then I used a lacquer finish on the red, because I did not have the enamel that I wanted in the red. So I got a wicked bright red. Little did I know that they react to each other very badly. It'll start to bubble up. I forget exactly what it's called, but it's not something you want on a professional looking guitar. Even though the original Frankenstrat was not in the best of shape because of him using it in gigs and whatnot, you don't want that on your guitar. You want it to still look halfway decent. This one, it ended up settling well, and the clear coat, that didn't help it. When I painted the clear coat, it also kind of bubbled up, but ended up sitting flat. I left it for a day or two, and it ended up working out fine. So yeah, if you guys are going to make your own, huge tip, probably the biggest tip I can give you for painting is use all the same, whether it's enamel, lacquer, all the way from primer to clear coat. Of course, you're going to want to clear coat it, but just make sure it's going to be the same kind of paint, enamel, lacquer, whatever you end up using. Just make sure it's the same. I know what I almost went through, the disaster it almost was. I don't want you guys to have to go through the same thing. Same thing with the back. I decided to put a little EVH in there, a little tribute to Eddie. A little bit of body damage, just for the heck of it, just to add to the flesh wounds, if you will, on his guitar. But let's see here. So I don't have the Floyd Rose like he has on his. I had some really big issues with this one, to the point where I have just a standard Strat bridge, standard tremolo, and I could not get this to work for the life of me. I have this thing maxed out. I can't go anymore. But yeah, these retainers are just, these saddles are held up super high. That's the only way I could get it to sit anywhere level with the guitar. So it's probably not the best one to play out somewhere. I've used it in gigs before. It held up, but it's not the best one to use right now until I get the time or money or right parts to use. It's definitely a Frankenstrat build though. These, if you guys are really looking to get authentic, I just took I took some pickups out of a Mexican Strat and took the covers off. Black pickups right there. They're not humbuckers. I kind of made my own humbucker. I didn't have any wrapping, any coil wrap, so I just decided to put 2 single coils together, nail them down to the body. That's all we got down there. There's nothing much going on. Put the wire right in between, like Eddie's, and you got your single coil right up top. He doesn't have a 3 or 5-way switch. I decided to put that in because I knew that 2 single coil pickups in front of each other, the homemade humbucker that I had, I knew that would not hold up too well. So in case I wanted to switch from a ton of feedback in the homemade humbucker to a single coil to do some solos or whatever you have, even though it's close to the neck, and I usually wouldn't, but whatever you feel like doing, if you want to get some clean sounds, you can use your three-way switch if you choose to put one in right up there. You can get those for $10 at any local music shop, and a tone knob. So volume's maxed out all the time, however much your amp or pedal. I have a pedal board, so I have a volume pedal on there that I'll use for all my other guitars too. Just a tone knob, just like Eddie's was. This is also off of an old Mexican Strat. And just